In this lesson, we'll take a look at some examples of marketing automation projects and workflows. The workflows, as we've briefly been over in a previous lesson, are made up of conditions, actions, and filters. They make up the if-then logic that workflows are based on. These elements are what allow you to strategize and are actually what you build your workflows around. So let's get into some different examples that we'll talk about, and we'll start with a welcome series. Here you can see a welcome email example. A welcome message is one of the most common and important messages that you'll send to your contacts. And a welcome message workflow is a great way to start with marketing automation. Here's an example of a simple welcome workflow. Very straightforward. Someone signs up for your list, you send them a message immediately. Maybe you wait some time after that and send another message in this series, or you could even stop at the first one if you wanted. So you see, marketing automation could be as simple as that, 2 elements. Or you could try something maybe a bit more complex, like here. This is still, overall, logically, a fairly simple workflow, but it's been extended to include some additional conditions and actions that really kind of strategize and increase your welcome strategy with some more elements there. The next example is a retargeting workflow, and we'll actually build this example from scratch in the Workflow Creator in just a few moments. This type of automation project refers to retargeting your leads or customers with different offers or products, maybe based on their previous interests or even a waning interest or engagement with your messages. It's an opportunity to present your contacts with new offers that you think would tempt them to engage with, whether purchasing a new product, signing up for a new course, or maybe downloading a new piece of content. It's all with the goal of helping to re-engage some contacts who maybe might be falling off a bit, or simply to suggest new products to existing customers. Here's an example retargeting email with the goal of presenting related but different offers to a customer based on their previous purchase or website activity. But in this workflow, we're actually using our tagging strategy to help us to re-engage or retarget users who are waning in their engagement with us. Whenever they receive a not engaged tag, and you'll learn more about setting up your tagging and scoring strategy in an upcoming lesson, it will trigger a piece of content that we've created exclusively for this purpose. And based on their reaction to that message, we'll either remove their not engaged tag or actually remove them from their current list that they have within our account. We'll build something similar in just a few moments. Delivering online courses is also another great use for marketing automation. Here's an example of a welcome message that would begin an online course workflow upon the sign up to the course. And here's the example of the course delivery workflow. In this simple example, it's just using some delays between each course lesson delivery, but it also works in a reminder midway through the course to be able to check for engagement and interaction as well. In the next few quick examples, we're going to be actually relating to nurturing your leads into customers, and also some e-commerce workflow examples, like working to win back abandoned carts and completed purchase messages. This workflow is actually built upon the goal of tracking visits to key pages on a website, like maybe a particularly important feature page or promo page, and then tagging that contact and moving them to a dedicated list. And after a short wait, sending an exclusive offer due to their visit history. If they engage with that message, we could score them, and of course it could be extended further. Check if they completed a purchase, trigger a reminder a few days later if they never opened the promo message maybe. This is basically just working to start nurturing and heating up the leads a bit. We see that they visited a key page, we identify them in our contact database, and we reach out with a related offer a couple days later to help keep the scent with our brand and this contact. Next up, abandoned carts. Cart abandonment is a real issue for most e-commerce businesses. As Bamer.com has found, the average documented online shopping cart abandonment rate is over 68%. Clearly a staggering figure that should jumpstart anyone into a retention action plan. Here's how simple an abandoned cart combating workflow can be. 2 elements configured just right to help entice the cart abandoner back to your site to complete their purchase. Finally, a completed purchase workflow. This serves, of course, to thank your customer for their purchase and really is an important transactional message when you're selling online. But a post-purchase workflow can do more than just that. It's yet another way to work to re-engage with your customers automatically after their purchase. You'll confirm their initial purchase and automatically be able to promote other offers they may be interested in without having to force yourself to remember to follow up manually after some time. So let's actually build that retargeting workflow from earlier right now. So we're ready to build that retargeting workflow now. So remember, this retargeting workflow is just an example. Let's say that we've been using our tagging and scoring strategy that we set up, let's say, kind of at the initial of some of our promos. And so we've been doing this for some time. And so that's why we're actually going to be able to start this workflow with the condition is tagged. Because this workflow should actually start working anytime that someone from this point forward receives the tag that we are specifying as not engaged. So we can say that we, let's say, have a separate workflow where we are tracking the engagement of our contacts, and if they're kind of actually engaging with some of our materials, with our messages, visiting our website, and whenever someone has met other criteria that are necessary for them to receive a tag of not engaged, we want to actually trigger this retargeting workflow to try and win them back, get them back on our side before we actually remove them from our list for being not engaged with us. And so it's going to actually begin the workflow with this tag is not engaged. So that's the starting condition. Then as soon as someone gets this particular tag, meaning they've met the criteria that we've set up in our tagging and scoring strategy to receive such a tag, we want to send them a message. And so we can basically say that this is a message and a piece of content that we have created specifically for this purpose. So it's not something that we share widely around on our website that's, available for everyone. It's something we've created specifically for this purpose. And so we can say this is an exclusive download just for this purpose. And so this is going to be based on a message, let's say, that we've already created for our ebook retargeting. And so I just need to find that message draft. I need to find it, of course. Here, I think I called it retargeting. Exactly. That's handy. You can actually type in the name of the message if you can remember it, because as you can imagine, I have a lot of messages and drafts floating around in my account, but this is the one I'm looking for, ebook retargeting. And I can see my message preview that indeed this is the one that I had in mind here. And so remember, you can choose from the different areas in your account where the particular message is, but mine happened to be previously used in an automation example. So that's the message layout form that I'm choosing from. So that's going to be my retargeting message. And so then I actually need to see, after someone has been sent this message because we have determined them as a not engaged contact of ours, I need to see what they do with this message they receive, if they do anything. And in particular, I want to see if they clicked the link, the download link in that particular message. So I need to use the link clicked element here and attach it to the send message. So you can see our flow is taking shape now. So we're waiting until someone gets this tag. So if they, yes, have this tag, send our retargeting message. And then the retargeting message is sent, I want to specify the properties for my link clicked element. And so I want to specify a very specific link. So it's, of course, an automation message, a specific link from a specific message. It's my ebook retargeting message. And then I need to specify it's this link here, my download link. And then here's something to consider right here, is when do I want to assume that someone has not met this condition? Basically that means, when do I want to assume that everyone who is going to click this link will click it within some amount of time, and when I should just assume that anyone who hasn't clicked it is never going to click it, so they should, fall into the negative path that they did not click the link. By default, it's after 1 day. So basically anyone who clicks the link within a day from whenever they have actually received the message, they would go into the positive path. And after 1 day, anyone who has not clicked the link in this message, they would fall into the negative path. If you want to give your contacts more time, if you think, maybe 3 days, or you could even do less than a day and determine some amount of hours after the message is actually received by them. This is up to you to consider. For me, I'll just leave it for a 1 day. I think that's a pretty standard amount for my contacts, and what I would expect that if anyone has not clicked within a day, they probably won't click. But this is certainly for you to determine as well. And so now what I want to do is, if someone did click on the download link, I've got them back. They're engaged with me again. They have got my download. They're interested in my content. They've downloaded it. And so I actually want to remove
tag of not engaged, because that's not how I need to classify them anymore. So actually I need to move over this action tag, connect it to the positive path here for my clickers. And in the properties, I actually want to remove a tag. And remember, I can just simply choose the not engaged tag. So let me find that. Here we go. So I'll simply remove this tag and they can carry on within my the current list that they're in as a contact, and I will continue to market with them with the rest of the contacts that I will in that particular list. And then for my non-clickers, I also need the action, but I need this remove contact. We can assume that given my list hygiene strategy, the way I actually want to be cleaning my list with those who are not engaging with us, which is of course a best practice for your list management. So whenever they've gotten this not engaged tag, basically means this is my last chance to try and win them back before I remove them from my account. Or from this list, of course. So I'm using this remove contact action. In the properties, I actually want to remove this particular subscriber, this contact, from this current list and this workflow. Because, for example, I could maybe decide later on to extend this workflow a bit more for my clickers, but no matter what, I want to make sure that the people who do not click on my retargeting link are actually removed from the current list that they're in within my account and also the workflow. But of course, you could choose something else. You could choose just the particular list, maybe an autoresponder cycle you want to remove them from, or just remove them completely from your account if they happen to be on other lists of yours. So this is, up to you. But basically, just think about the way that you've got your, list management set up and just how you need to remove that particular contact. And this is just one example, of course, of how retargeting can work. And retargeting can mean different things. Retargeting could mean that after someone makes a purchase from you, you'll follow up 2 weeks later with a suggested offer. That's also retargeting, but this is also kind of retargeting and a win back together. We're kind of drawing their attention to something else, a last ditch effort, also known as a win back or retargeting, to try and get them to come back to our side. And if they're not, we can automatically remove them from our list. So there are lots of things combined here in one simple workflow that can be happening for you automatically. Trying to win back lost leads, but also list hygiene all in one. So it's really cool how such a simple workflow, a simple setup, can actually do multiple things that are great for your list management, your hygiene, and also your overall marketing goals as well.
I hope this lesson has inspired you with a few workflow ideas, and you'll go and create your favorite workflow now.